Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Now, I gotta tell you, when even the irrational XRP haters out there preach that XRP is going to hit a new all-time high and melt faces, maybe it's because what's actually going to happen is XRP will hit a new all-time high and melt faces. I'm telling you, dude. So check this out. I got perspective from a number of XRP chart analysts in this video, and you're gonna love what they have to say. Closer than ever, finally, to hitting a new all-time high. It's literally been over 7 years since XRP has hit a new all-time high, but boy, is it poised to do so. So one of the first analysts I'll be highlighting, talking about XRP specifically, is a very popular analyst. In fact, one of the most respected and followed crypto chart analysts like in the entire space, and he has a very high accuracy rating, except for when it comes to XRP. But I think he's tired of having egg on his face, and maybe, just maybe, he's finally being honest about where XRP is likely to go this market cycle. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, it's past midnight now. What the hell time is it? 12:40 a.m. Central Time, which is my time zone. Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. XRP is $2.43, not looking too shabby. We have Bitcoin at 101,727 bucks. And within the last 24 hours, reaching as high as $102,467. So Bitcoin above $100,000, that's a good look for Bitcoin. I like seeing that. And I don't think this thing is done. Now, of course, the real opportunity in crypto at this point is not Bitcoin, okay? And I would even argue when it's in a new bear market, which will happen at some point in the future, it's closer than some people realize, frankly, but the best is still yet ahead very clearly, so not to scare anybody. But when that happens, I mean, my God, I'll still say, like, even when Bitcoin is at or near its bottom, I still won't believe that Bitcoin is going to be the way forward for people to achieve life-changing wealth in crypto. There's already too much money in it, and it's going to take too much to get a crazy multiplier effect. The real opportunity will continue to be, in my eyes anyway, in large and mid-cap coins, including XRP. But still, let's track what Bitcoin's doing for now. I think it would be everyone's preference that it continues to move to the upside, and even as dominance decreases, and then ultimately altcoins take over. Historically, that's always what's happened, so this time is going to be no different, let's be real. But there is this post from chart analyst Tony Severino, and this is a Bitcoin USD chart, and he wrote, Bitcoin weekly PPO just turned red. And I didn't remember what that one is. Mind you, I'm not a chart analyst, and I have no desire to be one, and I think that's probably the case for just about everybody listening here, because frankly, even if I were, well, first of all, it bores me to tears. Second of all, even if I were, it wouldn't change my investment strategy, which makes me extra not interested in doing so. I'm very strict when it comes to my opportunity for life-changing wealth by investing in crypto. I buy stuff, and then I do nothing. I don't want to get cute with it. I don't want to tinker with my positions. I buy stuff, and that is that. Whatever happens, happens. I don't get in and out of stuff. I don't sell something to go chase something else. I just refuse to do that. So even if I did become a chart analyst, for what purpose? You know, I'm more curious about what good chart analysts think, because then when you kind of aggregate the opinions, filter it on down, when most analysts think roughly the same thing, what I found is that's what happens. That's good enough for me. That's sufficiently interesting to me. But anyway, so as far as PPO, for the purposes of most of us listening here, and I include myself in this bucket, really all you need to know is that basically that indicator, it's showing the strength and direction of a price trend by comparing short-term and long-term momentum. And so it's typically used to identify potential buy and sell signals. And so he's saying that it turned red. Well, is that scary? Are we approaching the end of the market? Well, I mean, technically, with each day that passes, we're getting closer, but should we be fearful something imminently is happening here? Well, no. Another chart analyst, Dr. Pestet, responded and said, I think it did. So he's agreeing. 4x since it turned in 2021, question mark. And chart analyst Tony Severino responded, yeah, definitely doesn't mean the top is in yet. It just means we're experiencing the most extreme price move since 2021. Just like the relative strength index above 70, This can keep cruising higher for some time. It just means to begin anticipating a peak. Okay, so I am going to be one of those crypto YouTubers who will tell you when top indicators are in. A lot of people will be screaming prices going higher. It'll get all the clicks. I refuse to do that. It's intellectually dishonest. I'm not going to do it. I will tell you when I'm selling stuff. It's just fun to talk about. But yeah, I mean, I understand that I'm going to get screamed at when I do that, but that's just how it is. But it's true. So like even when you start to see indicators like this set off, and he cited RSI also. Yeah, so if you're talking about over 70, that's typically, depending on the asset, that's typically considered overbought territory, but you can be overbought for a very long time, relatively speaking. And so like you saw XRP, if I'm remembering correctly, for that 2017 bull run when it hit its highest RSI ever, I think this is true, you can fact check me, but I think it hit like 96.5 or something like that. That's way into oversold territory. But the point is that actually is a display of strength. So the fact that we see this, it doesn't mean it's imminent, but we do need to keep watching various metrics to see, okay, when's Bitcoin going to top off? And you know the alts are going to follow that. That's the reason it's important to track all of this. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Michael. If Bitcoin breaks the macro trend line at $108,000, my next target will be $150,000. And look, I'll just tell you this. I don't know, and nobody knows exactly where Bitcoin's going to top this cycle, but at that $150,000 level, that seems to be the sweet spot for the vast majority of all chart analysts I follow, including the ones who don't even talk about XRP. That seems to be the sweet spot. Something higher, something a little bit lower, but if you're kind of thinking what's an average price, it's probably about right. So we'll see what happens. Take it for what it's worth, but I think we got some room to go here still. Plus, again, the top indicators, they're not flashing, hey, this is the moment. We're just not there yet. Here's a post from Charting Guy. Alt season started 2 months ago. Stop asking if it's coming. It's been here for a while. We are in the middle of it. Okay. And so I remember it was maybe late November or early December. So it's a little over a month ago, not that long ago. All sorts of analysts were saying this is alt season. And some say that it's not. So what's the truth? Well, let me ask you this. What's the litmus test? The truth of the matter is that people, all sorts of good analysts, are using that term, and then they have different qualifiers when they're saying we are or are not in an alt season. They have that's all it is. So people are talking past one another. Obviously Bitcoin dominance, it's already been coming down. That's a key factor for when alt season starts. And so I'll let them hash it out. But if you're wondering why you're seeing conflicting reports of whether or not we're in alt season, that's why. Some of them won't consider that we're in an alt season until we're in that final euphoric phase. And if that's what they want to consider, okay, fine. It's not like there's some governing body, some entity that we must, it calls to us from on high, and we must listen to them, and it's not alt season until they say so. Like, that's not how this works. It's just that this is a newer industry, and there's not broadly enough accepted parameters for what definitions mean. That's what it is. But either way, we're pretty much there. Now, as far as what I was referencing at the outset of the video, look at this headline from the Crypto Basic. And this is a headline from December 17th. XRP critic Peter Brandt predicts XRP to $4.60, citing half-mast flag pattern. And so that was, I remember talking about this at the time. And I'm happy to give a quick refresher here, but he has posted about XRP yet again. So there's a new one, but I just wanted to kind of set the table here. And just so that you know, Peter Brandt, and this is what he I'll read this in a second, but this is his account here. So Peter Brandt, 767,000 followers on X, one of the most famous chart analysts in all of crypto. He gained a lot of notoriety in 2017 for accurately calling the top of the Bitcoin bubble close to $20,000. He also accurately called the bottom December 15th, 2018, about a year later. And he has a really high accuracy rate. His profession is trading. He's been doing it for close to 50 years. He's written books on it quite literally. He has been disastrously wrong on every move that matters in XRP's 10-year history, over 10-year history. It's astonishing. How can somebody this good at charting stuff be so disastrously wrong with XRP and miss every move that's mattered for about a decade? It's astonishing. And the answer is he has XRP derangement syndrome. It has infected him. I hate to say, I take no glee in this. I don't like to see my fellow mankind, it's succumbing to the affliction known as XRP derangement syndrome. But, he's a human here who can otherwise, use logic, reason, and data to come to reasonable conclusions about what's likely to occur. But XRP derangement syndrome, it has impacted him, and it has turned his brain to applesauce on the topic of anything having to do with XRP. And so his bias, his strong bias, has absolutely seeped into his XRP analysis. And he's outright called XRP a scam, this and that, the whole 9 yards, right? And so here's what he's missed. I want you to know this, because it'll be that much more sweet when you see what he's talking about is in store potentially for XRP. Because, I mean, you're talking life-changing wealth territory, if he's right. And so he was wrong about XRP when it was about half a cent. He was wrong about its initial run-up when it got to over 40 cents. Didn't think that was ever going to happen. It was a crap coin, right? And then it was consolidating sideways. It was never going to run again. See, guys, it already came down. It had its peak. It went to over 40 cents, whatever. And then it came back on down. It's just moving sideways around 20 cents. That's it. And then it ran again, though. So he missed it twice in 2017. Both of the moves that mattered, he missed it because he has bias against it. Then he missed the run in November of 2020. This was before XRP had even been attacked by the SEC over a month before. And he missed that one too. In fact, for months leading up to that, he had various posts saying it wasn't going to happen, fighting against it, saying it didn't make sense because it's a scam, so on and so forth. He missed that as well. Then XRP got attacked by the SEC, and he continued to say it's not going to go anywhere, not going to perform. So it did go down to about 16 cents, but then he was wrong there too because it rallied to $2. That was the peak for the last cycle. He didn't see that coming either. Okay, well, what about this cycle? Surely he's figured out that XRP's not something to scoff at, right? When it comes to price action, it's going to do something even when it's attacked by the SEC. Surely he learned his lesson. Nope, no, he didn't learn his lesson this time either. When XRP started running in November after the elections, I'll just tell you, leading up to this, and I highlighted it throughout 2024, he's making various posts saying it doesn't make sense. XRP's just trending towards zero against Bitcoin. Ha ha ha, very funny. That's the type of post that he put out. And I shared it as like, well, he's going to be disastrously wrong yet again, and he was. Now, what's amazing about this is finally, I think he's tired of having egg on his face. He is finally, for the first time in history, the over 10-year history of XRP, making a call that is in line with what the rest of the reputable analysts on the planet thinks makes sense. Finally, even he is. And he despises XRP still, but even he is finally coming around. And it's just like, just tasting so sweet here. So this was the post on December 17th. XRP appears to be resolving a half-mast flag. If so, distance to upside should equal advance into tip of flag. And so he shared this update here. And just take a look at what this means if this happens. And like any analyst, to be clear, he's not promising it's going to happen. But to even have him acknowledge that this is something that the charts are saying there's a really good probability is going to happen, that is astonishing to me. He has never done this in history. Okay? And so anyway, he shared this post just in the evening last night. He said, half-mast flags should complete within 6 weeks. Otherwise, they should be viewed with great suspicion. This flag in XRP needs to rock and roll soon. Otherwise, it will likely morph into something else to be determined. But if it completes, then market cap of $500 billion is possible. Okay, 2 key takeaways right there. First of all, he says it would need to happen soon. That's absolutely in line with what I continue to see from analyst after analyst after analyst who is looking at XRP. Sooner rather than later. Whether it's days or a couple weeks or whatever it ends up being, that's the type of time frame that is expected based on how these types of chart formations that various analysts have talked about tend to unfold, right? 2, $500 billion? Let me spare you from having to do the tedious chore of mathematics. That would bring XRP to a price of somewhere in the range of $9. Now, I don't know if that's where he thinks that this would peak. That's just what he sees in the charts. And he despises XRP. And even he's like, $500 billion. That would be a $9 XRP. Now, truth be told, if Bitcoin's going to rally way higher, and if ETH is even just going to double what it did last market cycle, and if XRP is going to catch up with that, you can easily get into double digits, even $20. Now, that's not a prediction for me. I'm just noting that if those were the types of things that happen, and if XRP is going to run for that number 2 spot, that's all plausible here. But even just getting to that range is freaking incredible in my mind. And to see him acknowledge that, I'm just like, whoa. Here's a post from chart analyst Credible Crypto. XRP BTC chart is on your screen here. He says, XRP BTC is just a few % away from my local downside target here, where I expect a bounce and continuation up, which means if we are going to get the entry shared on XRP USD in the quoted tweet, a Bitcoin would need to pull back ASAP. Otherwise, it means XRP probs just rips up from here. I'll take either outcome. And so he has been warning, and I believe I shared a quote from him and from the post, I think yesterday, literally, where he was warning, not promising it was going to happen, but warning that XRP could fall against the dollar specifically. And so here he's talking about Bitcoin, but realistically it would probably be both. So he's not guaranteeing it's going to happen money. But either way, if it does or if it doesn't, the move afterwards would be to the upside. I mean, he was asked about that. In fact, somebody wrote, so basically either scenario, XRP is expecting to rip to the upside here soon. Incredible Crypto wrote, yep. The question is simply if we get a small dip first or not. And look, I've had multiple analysts, and I've been highlighting in recent days, warn it's possible. They're not promising it, but I have had enough that it's caught my attention, saying it's possible that you could pull back. So against the dollar, some have said $2.04 is jumping out at me. One of them said that. Someone said something closer to $2.10. I'm just saying, if it happens, it's not time to panic. It's just, having the back of your mind tucked away so that if it happens, you don't have to be feeling emotions. Don't get all scare. That's not what that's time for. There's also this from the blockchain backer. He shared a link to his most recent video. XRP price charts. XRP, not plural. Let me try that again. XRP price chart gets near breakout range ending. Okay. And he's been talking about that a good bit recently. His video is definitely worth watching if you haven't checked it out, though I'm willing to bet that a ton of you listening already have. And I will note, yes, he thinks that something's going to happen here, and he acknowledges, yes, there could be some sort of break to the downside, but either way, it's not like that would destroy the chart. Doesn't mean it can't move to the upside. But he is another analyst who does believe that something is going to happen much sooner than later, and he has talked multiple times about a $9 plus XRP if certain things unfold in a particular way. And if you want the specifics and his breakdown in terms of chart analysis, listen to his channel. I'm just sharing a couple key takeaways that I've heard from him. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. XRP price, right here on your screen, says the last time the super trend indicator flipped bullish on the 12-hour chart, XRP went up 470%. It just flipped bullish again. Well, okay, so I find that interesting because it's happening at a time where basically every analyst under the sun is like, it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Whether they think that means days or a few weeks, this is what I keep seeing. And normally those types of opinions from analysts don't line up. So when they do, it catches my attention. And when that happens, almost every time, what they think is going to happen does indeed happen. That's not literally every time. Sometimes the improbable happens. But that's why this has caught my attention. So yet another analyst saying, well, looky here. Here's oh my God, I love this one too. I should have highlighted this one earlier in the video because it would have paired up perfectly with the Peter Brandt crap, because this is from Cointelegraph. And it's not that everything they write about XRP is complete garbage, but look, having been here in crypto since 2017, I've read my fair share of Cointelegraph articles, and they consistently over the years have crapped all over XRP. They posted stuff that literally isn't true, all sorts of FUD articles with headlines and content clearly designed to, cause fear with anybody in the XRP community, broadly speaking. And it's XRP just treated in a way by Cointelegraph that they just don't treat other coins. Not with this veracity, at least. Certainly not. And the quantity of articles, talking about XRP, this and that. But even they shared this. Look at this post from Cointelegraph. This is from January 6th, just yesterday. Latest, XRP forms a bull flag pattern targeting $15, backed by surging open interest and historical bullish momentum. Even Cointelegraph, they're like, yeah, XRP looks, based on this, heading to $15. Blah, 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 blah. And then I guess that way they don't get to have egg on their face when it happens. It's completely ridiculous. I can't help but laugh a little bit at this. I've been here too long and know too much of their history to just be like, oh, okay, thank you for the valuable information. You're operating in good faith and you've always done so. Nope, absolutely not. But even they are saying $15 XRP. Now that is fascinating. And also, the night before they posted this, I had already made a video, and some of you may recall this, where I was highlighting, I had noticed even before Cointelegraph shared this perspective, I highlighted perspective from, I don't know, maybe 4 different XRP chart analysts, at least 4, who said, yeah, XRP bull flag right here. And I highlighted that in a video, I guess over 24 hours ago at this point, somewhere thereabout anyway. But before, Cointelegraph had posted this, and then they They came to the same conclusion on their own. Take it for what it's worth. I'm just reporting diverse perspectives from various individuals and entities here. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Dark Defender. He reposted what I shared with you from Cointelegraph and wrote, "Thank you, Cointelegraph. Our Fibonacci target sits at $18.22. We are close. XRP is ready." Yeah, so he's been talking about that $18 level for quite a while. Don't know if it's going to hit. If it does, it will not surprise me. I will tell you that. Here's a post from Chart Analyst Dom. XRP is currently stuck at the exact mid-range over the last 6 weeks, where it has spent the most time. And point of control, $2.45, he says. The profile is starting to look very balanced, indicating a break is soon. So yet another analyst saying, guys, probably going to break soon. And he notes that over $2.45, things will probably start to move fast. So again, this is what I continue to see over and over and over again. Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. XRP USD chart on your screen. And he shared this just last night, just a few hours ago. Bullishly consolidating above its April 2021 high while completing a golden pocket retest and forming a weekly bull flag targeting $10 after printing a bullish engulfing candle last week. And so there you go, another analyst talking about the XRP bull flag. And this one was just from a few hours ago, 9:34 p.m. Central Time. Well, how about that? So I'm just saying, when even the irrational XRP haters, they come around because they don't want egg in their face any longer, and they start being honest about XRP and be like, yeah, it's going higher. New high, melt faces, even Peter Brandt saying close to double-digit price action, Cointelegraph, double-digit price action at $15. When the haters finally come around, they're tired of being wrong about it and embarrassing themselves. Maybe that's because that's what the charts are actually saying is most probable. Though nothing is certain, and I certainly admit that, but isn't that interesting? That they're all at this point when we're... Because look, for the last few years, what's Peter Brandt been saying? What's Cointelegraph been saying? All sorts of crap. And here we're at the moment of truth and they just flip. Right at the point where it matters most, they're flipped like, okay, actually it's going to go. Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, I don't see what the hell you're doing here. Come on. And that's just a couple examples. There are tons of other analysts that are doing the same thing. It's just hilarious to me. I gotta point it. I feel obligated. It'd be a disservice to the XRP community if I didn't point out the hypocrisy here and the absurdity of all this. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.